Okay, so is there no one in the class, or shall I? I guess I need to put myself on gallery view.
Yeah, I'll put, yeah.
Okay. Oh, hello. I'm always delighted when I see folks in gallery view. It's always a nice kind of little jolt to my heart, flutterby to my belly. So just an invitation, if you haven't put yourself on mute yet, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. And that will make for less distraction. And so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to an adapted seated yoga practice. And so although we can do some folks are able to do standing poses using a chair for balance. Today, the practice will be entirely seated. And so my name is Bobbie, and I've had I don't even know what word to describe. And many years now I've been teaching adaptive yoga, and I absolutely love teaching this class and appreciate the opportunity to meet with you, to gather online. So here we go. I always, I'd like to invite you to begin a yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. And so have whatever you need to set yourself up comfortably. And so if you know that balance is a challenge for you, I'd like to invite you this time to make sure you have whatever you need to keep yourself stable in your chair. We are going to get moving. And then lastly, just a few of my yoga toys from my yoga toy box that I'd like to introduce today. Actually, I'll start with this. I have a foam block, rectangle covered with some material that I've had on there for ages, placed between my feet. And so that's to encourage comfortable hip distance apart. And so I know many of you are wheelchair users. I did have a friend who was a wheelchair user, still is actually, I haven't seen her for a while, has a plinth between her, so in her thighs, and that helps kind of for the same purpose, a nice alignment, hip distance apart. And so when I say hip distance, I'm meaning inner hip bone distance apart. And then lastly, I think I'd like to, it's a good old-fashioned blanket, your fave. So this is a little hippy dippy blanket I paid $5 for, I've had forever. And sometimes placing a blanket on our lap can help with fatigue, it can help with a grounding sensation. Sometimes, and I think I'll do this now, I like to put it on the back of the chair for support. And so just like this. So easy peasy yoga. The new advanced yoga is a gentle yoga practice. And so with that in mind, having found that comfortable sitting position, invitation to roll your shoulders back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable. And then an invitation, if you'd like, to bring your hands to your heart center. And so it might be palms together, palms open. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. And so we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or a movement. And then as you're ready, if you'd like, and it's available to you, lift your heart to your hands. Bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to take a few moments to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. And setting aside whatever was going on for you during before the yoga practice, pardon me, for the duration of the class, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And then as you're ready, relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. So again, might be on your lap, maybe by your side. And then an invitation to, if it feels comfortable for you, to close your eyes softly. Or perhaps a soft gaze downwards. And so notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over your hips. Chin in parallel to the floor. If it's helpful, you can maybe place a few fingers on your chin, imagine a turtle. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, and it's available to you, if it feels comfortable, an invitation to bring your awareness to your breath. And so perhaps placing one hand on your yoga belly, the area between your navel and your pubic bone. Maybe noticing that as we inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Maybe placing another hand at your heart center and noticing the pattern of movement of the breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And then see if you can invite your breath to be just a little bit longer than it was when we began. And then exploring changing placements of your hands if you'd like. And so notice the exhale. So when we lengthen our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. And so I'd like to encourage you during your practice, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, easeful breath. And so if your eyes were closed, gradually blink your eyes. And so today, as part of our practice, I thought that I would share a poem with you. And this is a short one that I discovered some time ago that I love, and I hope it resonates for you. And yeah, so it's called No Part Left Out, and by Ishumi Shinbu. And my apologies if I'm not pronouncing the poet's name correctly. Hopefully I am. And so watching the moon at dawn, solitary, mid-sky, I knew myself completely, no part left out. And so I'd like to read it one more time. Watching the moon at dawn, solitary, mid-sky, I knew myself completely, no part left out. Ishumi Shinbu. Hopefully I pronounced it fairly well. And so, yeah, so welcome again to the class. No part left off. So all of you is welcome. So your story, whatever's going on for you physically, and so on. And so here you go. So an invitation now to roll your shoulders back. So soft, organic movements, nothing rigid. And then relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, bring your hands together, rub your palms a little. And so if you're wearing glasses, you may want to take your glasses off for this piece, up to you. So and then take your hands apart, maybe feeling a little warmth or heat between your hands. And then we'll rub our palms together again. And so I'm delighted to share that there is now research that shows what we've always known, that our hands are not only connected to our heart, but to our mind as well. And so this time I'd like to invite you to bring your hands up. We'll practice palming. And so cupping your eyes lightly. So not putting pressure directly on our eyeballs. And if you're blessed with a yoga buddy, they can do this practice with you, with your guidance. Placing their hands over your eyes. And if it feels okay for you, an invitation to close your eyes softly. And then allow the warmth of your hands, the energy from your hands, to soften behind your eyes. And so we'll just stay here for another breath or two. And then maybe shifting your eyes from side to side. And then gradually blink your eyes. Nice little wiggly fidget. Woohoo. Putting your glasses back on. And so let's rub our palms together again. And this time as you're rubbing your hands together, I'd like you to notice where in your body you're holding stress or tension. And see if you can bring some of that loving energy from your hands and place them on that part of your body. So allowing your body to absorb that loving energy from your hands, or if you have a yoga buddy working with you, the energy from their hands. Okay. And so I'd like you to take a moment, notice is your breath still long and easeful. And so from here, let's repose. So I'd like to invite you to ground down through your feet, centering ground through the soles of your feet. And so we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. So it might be an energetic grounding down. We might ground down through your sits bones, noticing where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Lengthen your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Chin in, parallel with the floor if possible. Maybe 2 fingers on your chin. Encourage, think maybe of a turtle. Help release some of the tension that we hold, your neck. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to, let's actually transition into a warm up for our neck. And so I'd like to invite you to bring your chin gently towards your chest. And when you feel your neck is ready, so in your time as you're ready, turn a soft gaze looking up towards the ceiling. And so maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And so we'll continue the gentle movements, warming up our cervical spine. And so nodding, yes. And then as ready, bring your head back to center. And then an invitation to take one ear towards your shoulder. If it's helpful, you can reach across to the opposite shoulder, place your hand there, or not. And then when you're ready, move your head back and forth. So if you'd like to add a little half smile, a little Buddha smile, that can encourage releasing saliva. And so we want a nice juicy mouth, juicy body. And then as you're ready, bring your head back to center. And then turn a soft gaze looking towards your shoulder. Only turn your head as far as feels comfortable for you. Pause. And then an invitation to turn your head from side to side. So as if nodding no. And finish up the movement that you're on. Bring your head back center. Take a moment. And so we've moved our neck through 3 planes of movement. Now we're going to continue down along the spine. And so for this practice, I'd like you to be facing forward towards the screen and looking at me, of course, unless you've been doing your practice for a long time and you happen to know where I'm going with this. So we're going to transition into a practice called cat and cow. And I am going to turn my chair sideways right off the hop to hopefully give you a better idea, view of what's going on with our spine. So upper back, thoracic area of our spine with this movement. And so, yeah, here we go. So I'd like to invite you to round your back. And so as you round your back, draw your chest in. So it's as if our sternum's moving in towards the back of our ribs. And then as you're ready, our sternum moves forward, lifts, opens up the solar plexus, your heart, your throat. And you might notice that as we arch, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide in towards our hips. And as we round our back, our hands naturally have a tendency to slide towards our knees. And so if the actual sliding your hands physically along your thighs doesn't feel good for you, I'd like to invite you to perhaps explore maybe hovering above your thighs a little bit. And then as you're ready, come on back to a neutral spine. And I'm going to turn my chair back so that I'm facing forward. Hopefully that was helpful. Turning my chair as far as the visual goes. And so, yeah, so from here, okay, let's repose. So you're sitting up nice and tall, right? Feet firmly placed on your foot plates or the floor, sits bones sharp on the chair. Your spine is long, shoulders back and down. Chin in, right, just a little bit. And then when you're ready, an invitation to reach one hand towards the earth. And so towards the floor, as if you're reaching to pick something up. And you can hold on to the other side of the chair for stability if you'd like. And so we want our shoulder lined up with shoulder. If it's helpful, you can imagine that you're seated between 2 panes of glass. And then we'll move from side to side. So keeping sits bones on the chair. Okay, you might find it helpful to exhale to reach towards the floor. Inhale, come back center. Exhale to the other side. Or maybe it feels better to just inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. And so if you're congested or you have an obstruction, breathe in whatever way you can. You might notice that as we warm up, the movements become more easeful. And be able to go a little bit deeper. And then as you're ready, finish up the movement that you're on. Relax your arms. Wherever feels comfortable for you. So it might be on your lap or by your side. And so from here, let's come into a seated twist. So beginning at the base of your lumbar spine, you're going to twist to the side, moving up one vertebrae at a time. Your hands can slide over to one towards your hip if you'd like, maybe the outside of your thigh. Head turns last. And then we're going to move dynamically. So twisting from side to side. And so this is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range. And so remembering that your hands can hover above your thighs if that feels better for you. Then slowly finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. And this time, I suggest relaxing your arms down by your side and then on your lap. I'm just going to take, I bought a Timex watch. I think it might outlive me. I'm not sure. Timex watches, not that I'm promoting Timex, but it was inexpensive. It's a large face. It's a man's watch, and it's really helping keeping me on time. So, but it is a little bit large. So I'm just going to place it beside me on this lovely chair beside me. So let's repose. Let's maybe do a little wiggly fidget, a little bum dance. So I always like to suggest be creative. Right, so we all have our own sense of rhythm. It is springtime. So waking up from what seems like a very long winter. So yes, happy spring. And I was kind of joking with Kassar, my wonderful tech host, earlier. Sometimes on the West Coast, it's like I'm not quite sure. Is it spring? Crazy weather we've been having. And I know some of you are tuning in from tuning in south of the border, maybe from, even further away. So depending on where you are, the weather is relative. So anyway, let's see. What else do I have here? I guess that's it for notes. So I'm going to continue with the best of what I know. So from here, I'd like to invite you to join me in a practice called sun breath. And so sun breath is a meditation on the heart. It is a gentle heart opener. And so I'd like to begin by inviting you to place your hands at your heart center. So it might be palms open or palms in prayer. Perhaps it feels better for you to have your hands at your yoga belly. Right, so whatever feels good for you. And making sure there are no hard surfaces to bang into. Again, if you have a yoga buddy can help with this movement, guiding. And so as you're ready, on an inhale, extend your arms up and away. And then bring your hands back to your heart center. Or maybe your Buddha belly or your yoga belly. And so inhale, extend our arms up and away. And then making soft fists if you'd like. If you have arthritis in your hands, bring them back to your heart center, your yoga belly. And so an invitation to join me in keeping this gentle heart opener flowing. And if you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. And as we inhale, extend your arms up and away. Imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale, extending arms up and away. So I feel comfortable with my arms just a little lower than my shoulders today. Maybe yours are up higher, lower. And so soft fists, bringing our hands back to our heart center or our belly. So inhale, arms extend up and away. And this time, as we exhale, if you'd like, make a humming sound, bumblebee breath. Inhale. So you might notice a bumblebee breath extends the exhale. Pardon me, I need to cough. Here we go. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart center. And take a few moments, to maybe feel the rise and fall of your belly and your chest, your heart center. And release. So a little wiggly fidgets again. A little bum dance if your eyes were closed. Gently lift them open. And so let's repose. So at this time, if possible, I'd like you to walk your hips forward in the chair so that you're about 2/3 of the way forward in your chair. Or if you'd like to think of it as if you're coming forward away from the back of the chair now so that you are supporting your own spine. If you're needing support for your spine today, whether that's a yoga block, a blanket, you're a wheelchair user and you have lovely support set up for you, whatever feels good for you. In other words, stable. Pardon me. I have a little bit of water today. I still just have a little remnant of a cough that I had weeks ago. It's getting upset. Okay. And so an invitation to see if possible that you can be seated forward on your sits bones. So the bones we sit on. And if you need to, or like you could pull the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. And so if seated forward on your sits bones feels okay for you, great. If not, sit in whatever way feels stable for you. And so from here, we'll ground down to our feet. We'll ground down to your sits bones, lengthen your spine, shoulders back and down. Chin in, parallel with the floor. And so from here, I'd like to invite you to maybe bring one hand to your shoulder, the other hand to your shoulder, wherever you can reach comfortably. And so this is a time of year when it's a good idea to focus a little more on twists and side bends. And so I'd like to invite you to breathe in, lengthen your spine. So when we breathe in, things expand. And then on exhale, gently twist to the side. Yeah, so your head follows. And then we'll breathe in, come back center, lengthen your spine, gentle twist, the opposite direction. Come on back center and release. And a little shake. Okay. So from here, let's come into a side bend. So I'd like to invite you to take hold of the underside of your chair wherever you need to. Feel stable and balanced, always first. And then extend. So I think before we move into it, I'll demo 3 positions as modifiers for your arm placement of your opposite arm. So it might be that your hand is at your hip. Maybe it feels okay to bring your hand up to your shoulder. So I'm thinking particularly if you have shoulder stuff going on, this might be a nice placement for your hand. Alternatively, it might feel okay to reach up and over. And so today, I am going to take on this side, I'm going to take my hand to my shoulder. So you choose whatever works best for you. So here we go. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're holding on to the opposite or under the chair, wherever you need to. And we'll extend the opposite arm. So hand can be at your hip. Soft bend in your elbow. You take your, or alternatively, hand at your shoulder, which is where I'm going to keep mine, or you can reach up and over. Keeping both sits bones on the chair. Come into your side bend. Might need to adjust your feet a little bit. And then turn a soft gaze looking downwards to release your neck. And then see if you can breathe into your rib cage. Can you breathe in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose on this side. Take a moment, and then we'll come into this on the other side. So take hold of the underside of the chair, extend your opposite arm, spiral your palm open, and take your arm to your place. So you breathe in, reaching up, and come into your side bend. Turn a soft gaze, looking down towards the earth, towards the floor. And then see if you can breathe into your rib cage. Or can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? So imagination is powerful. And palm face down, release. And so take a moment, feel your work. Notice how you feel. So in our yoga practice, it's not about what the form or the movement looks like. The diagnostic tool is, how do I feel? So no judgment. Yoga meets us exactly where we are. Okay. And so from here, I'd like to come into a practice called sun salutations. So salutations are heating, they're strengthening. And so I like to think of it as a string of pearls. So we're pulling together essentially several different poses into one flow practice called cat or sun salutation, pardon me. And so if any of what I share with you doesn't feel comfortable, if it doesn't feel right, skip it. You might come back to your breath and notice, I like to share that if we're focused on our breath, we're practicing yoga. Alternatively, sometimes depending on what's going on for us, focusing on the breath might not feel so great. So it might be that you bring your awareness back to a gentle sense of gravity. I'm kind of pulling your shoulders away from your ears, moving down along your spine, your legs, etc., and grounding to your sits bones and feet, connecting you with the earth. And so, I'm just gonna jump. So here we go. So remembering that yoga has a unique philosophy. One of our first principles is do no harm. And so I'm trusting that you're all taking good care. And so sun salutation. So let's begin with our arms by our side. Spiral your palms open. So you open up your armpits a little bit. And then an invitation to take your hands to your heart center. So it might be in prayer, palms open. It's also an expression of prayer. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, Gentle back arch, so reaching your arms up as high as feels comfortable for you. So opening up our heart, bending from above our shoulder blades, and then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So it might be soft fists at your hips work, maybe holding on to the underside of the chair, or perhaps for you, visualizing the movement today. And so noticing that sometimes we come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jut up, so you tuck your chin in slightly. And then when you're ready, pushing down through your inner heels. So it might be an energetic pushing down. Place one hand on each of your thigh. Come on back up. And then from here, I'd like to invite you to come into a warrior pose. So an invitation to place your leg under the front of your chair if possible. Alternatively, maybe visualizing that or having a yoga buddy help with that movement. And then if you'd like to reach your arm up to the sky, adding our arm. So arm can be along your ear, it can be in goal pose, it can be at your hip. Powerful pose. And then as you're ready, lower your arm, step your foot forward. And then from here, let's come into a modified seated version of downward facing dog. So hinging from your hips, come forward. Place your forearms on your lap, chin in, push down through your sits bones, lengthen your spine. So maybe feeling that nice line of energy. And then baby cobra, place your hands on your thighs. Lower a little if that's possible. And then lift your sternum, solar plexus, throat, looking up, baby cobra. And then downward facing dog. So forearms on your lap. Lengthen your spine, chin in. Then come on back up so you can push down through your inner heels or place one hand on each of your thigh, come up. We'll come into warrior pose, modified on the other side. So visualizing this next movement, or if possible, take your leg under the front of the chair. You can add your arm if you like. So your hand can be at your hip. In gold pose, so reaching up along your ear. Warrior. So gazing on the horizon, not on the floor. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips. Come forward with a flat back. Spiral your palms open, reach up to the sky as high as feels comfortable for you. And then maybe taking your hands together in prayer down through to the heart. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart center. And maybe noticing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And so let's practice one more round. So here we go. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. So open up your heart, bend from just above your shoulder blades. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So take hold of the underside of the chair, maybe soft fists at your hips. Chin in. Warrior pose. Push down through your inner heels. Come on back up. Placing your leg. Actually, we'll switch which goes first this time. Leg under the front of the chair. Visualizing this movement. Reach your arm up to the sky to your place. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward. Hinging from the hips. So I'll give you two options for downward facing dog. So one would be what we practiced earlier, which is forearms on your lap. Or if you'd like, you could explore extending both arms on a diagonal. So your hands maybe reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. And then when you're ready, baby cobra, hands on your thighs, lower. Lift your heart, your solar plexus, your throat. Imagine that baby cobra. And then downward facing dog. So the first version we practice, arms on your lap or arms on a diagonal, reaching towards where the ceiling meets the wall. And then as you're ready, pushing down through your inner heels, one hand on each of your thigh. Come on, back up. Arms by your sides, spiral your palms open. Reach up to the sky. Maybe taking a look between your palms, notice if they're facing each other, then return your gaze on the horizon. And maybe our hands come together in prayer, down through to the heart. And this time as you bring your hands down through to the heart, I'd like you to imagine a waterfall. So we bow our head towards our heart. Place one hand on your yoga belly, the other on your heart center. And maybe exploring switching placement of your hands if you'd like. And so we're gonna come down off the mountain now. So it's a little wiggly fidget. Right. So this, I'd like to invite you to maybe just take a few moments and feel free to close your eyes here if you'd like, and to ask yourself what your body needs right now. Is there anything particularly in your yoga practice that you'd like to do? So it might be something we practiced earlier in the class or that you do on your own. So this is a time to do your own thing. And then an invitation to ask yourself one more time, is there something else I need? Okay. And so from here, I think we'll transition into, before we move into a guided meditation or final relaxation, I'd like to share a few other practices that I've learned. I like to think of myself as a lifelong student, to hijack our nervous system, essentially calming as a way to calm our nervous systems. So I think most of us are going a million miles an hour. And so it's important to have that energy to do that. However, it's a lot more challenging to go from that into a place where we're able to rest and digest. So I've spent a lot of time finding the practices that I think work well in the yoga class. And so from here, invitation to find a comfortable sitting position, and you're more than welcome to adjust your lighting. If you need to leave the space for whatever reason, of course, to take care of yourself, please do know that you can come back. Well, actually, maybe not with the way the program's set up. I'm not sure once it's started. But yeah, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. And I often say, suggest not to resist any urges. So sometimes in yoga, we can be moving into places we've forgotten we have places. So sometimes that can bring up emotions. So crying, I'm famous for being a crybaby, mostly tears of joy, but not always, sometimes grief. And yeah, laughter, smiling, all that's welcome here. And so I am going to move into the iPad or my little iPhone a little closer for this. And I do have a bunny rabbit. He's pretty chill right now, so I'm not going to bother him. But if you happen to see him hopping around, that's EB. And of course, most of us are practicing from home and pets and so on. So, yes. So for this practice, sitting comfortably, And you can be leaning back in your chair a little bit if you want to start with. I'd like to invite you to place one hand. Actually, I'm going to turn this one light off here. So place one hand on your belly, your other hand on top if you'd like. And then circle, massage your belly. So you're massaging clockwise. And so massaging our organs. So your liver, your stomach. So this is a lovely practice that I started doing in the morning and at night before I go to sleep. It's massaging my belly. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, take your hands to your lower back, or your yoga buddy with your guidance could do this. And so massaging your lower back. And then you're sending your kidneys and adrenal glands some love. You move up a little higher, close to the surface. So important to keep this area warm. And then when you're ready, so you might place one hand on your back, lower back, and then sweep your hands forward. So inhale, let, exhale, go. So I'm thinking a lot about spring clean these days, letting go on multiple levels of what's not really serving me anymore. And so inhale, let, exhale, go. Yes. And so now when you're ready, so you're sitting comfortably in your chair. If it's available to you, I'd like you to take your fingertips up and place them above your eyebrow line. So the opposite side, arm to eyebrow. And again, you might want to remove your glasses for this and repose a little bit. And so sweep your fingers along your eyebrow line, down, and then behind your ear. And so I'm actually going to untie my hair for this piece. If you want to take elastic out, if your hair is tied back, go for it. So down, behind your ear, along your neck. So opposite eyebrow to arm. And then sweep along your shoulder, your hand, and release. So let's switch sides. So your few fingers sweeping across your eyebrow line, down maybe past your temple, behind your ear, down along your neck, your shoulder, sweep down your arm along your hand. So I'm going to suggest we do this just a few more times. Sweep along your eyebrow, down past your temple, along your neck, along your shoulder, arm, hand, sweep, and actually maybe one more time. So other side. And release. Nice. A little bum dance if you like. And so lastly, the practice I'd like to share with you, you're sitting comfortably and you're looking to begin with straight ahead. So for this, we're going to practice some eye movements, but your head is going to stay where it is, center, and we're just going to move our eyes. So I'd like to invite you to move your eyes towards the right. So you're not moving your head, just your eyes. And then maybe we'll stay there for a count of 5 or until you feel some kind of release. And then when you're ready, bring your eyes back center. And then turn a soft gaze looking towards the left. So today I'm not mirroring you. And then stay there for 5 breaths or till you feel a release. And bring your eyes back center and release. And a little shake out. So my hope for you is that you start your own yoga practice at home, that you carve away a little bit of time, that you're able to do yoga. So it doesn't have to be a full-blown hour. It can be whatever, you know, whatever piece, whatever part of the practice feels good for you. Sometimes I get up or I don't get up in the morning and I do my yoga practice in bed. And so lots of yoga toys to choose from our yoga toy box. And so from here, make sure that you're warm enough. And so I do have a little, I have my blanket here. So set yourself up. And so this is meditation. You can be laying down for this, or you can be seated up to you. And we're going to transition from the meditation right into your final relaxation. And so feel free to recline if you'd like, removing your glasses. And so I've learned that really meditation does not have to be done seated upright. So set yourself up so that you're comfortable. And if you can close your eyes softly, that can be helpful. Otherwise, maybe a soft gaze downwards. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. And breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I release. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. And we'll sit and take a few breaths together if you'd like, with a gentle reminder. And breathing. And so as an alternative to the breath, I'd like to offer you 2 more practices as a grounding sensation during your meditation. So it might be that you bring your awareness to the soundscape around you. And noticing the sound that's furthest away from you. And noticing the sound that's closest to you. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath or the sound of your heartbeat. And then bring your awareness to the sound in between, the sound that's furthest away and closest to you. And so alternatively, as a third option for grounding, an invitation to feel a gentle sense of gravity, pulling your shoulders away from your ears. So gravity pulling your shoulders away from your ears, flowing down, grounding you down to your sits bones, down through to your feet, connecting you with Mother Earth. So center and ground through the soles of your feet. And so whatever practice you've chosen for your meditation, we'll just spend another moment or two. Okay, so at this time, just come into whatever comfortable position you'd like for your final relaxation. So if you're seated in a chair like I am, it might feel good to put it up against the wall and maybe a little support behind your neck. And so if you have something at your neck, make sure that it's pulled, that there isn't a gap between, a space between your neck and your shoulders, that is pulled right up around your ears. Make sure again that you have whatever you need to stay warm, comfortable. And so an invitation to close your eyes softly if that works for you, or soften your gaze downwards. And so relax your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. So give feet palms up or palms down as desired. And so soft palms, soft yoga belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow the breath to reflect the pose. Serenity pose. Relax your jaw. Unclench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. So if you'd like, you can even take your fingertips to the areas that I'm cueing. Soften between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Silently, if you like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. If it's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our yoga belly or on our belly, wherever, bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. And so without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. And so our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs if you'd like. And then come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. And so an invitation, once you're seated, to take a look around the space that you're in and Name 3 objects that you see to bring us back to the present. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Notice how you feel before and after yoga practice. Questions or feedback, love to hear from you. Totally open to hanging out for a few moments with you. And thank you, Kausar, awesome dude, helping me, my tech host. And of course, Disability Foundation and Connectra for providing this opportunity for us to hang out together and do yoga. So I might come in a little bit closer to.
Hi, Bobbie.
Oh, Sally.
That was nice class. Thank you.
You're welcome, love. Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm started doing my exercises again, so and the yoga, so I'm starting to feel more limbered up a bit.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Okay. So you take good care, love.
Yeah, you got your ice cream stand going?
Yeah, for about maybe on 3 weeks now or so, going on a month. So I'm heading down there to scoop until 7:30, probably 7.
Oh wow.
3 hours, yeah.